I am in so much pain. The pain meds, I'm sick of being in pain. It has been a whirlwind of the last week. I had a plan this week's episode. I was going to run a triathlon, but life had other things. So we're gonna talk about the health issues. It's really random, but I'll explain because it's been going on like a year. We're gonna do a Q&A. I have to be low energy. A Q&A from you guys, and when you actually ask the question that leads into it, so sit down, pour yourself a cup of coffee, pour tequila, maybe make a tequila spritz. My podcast people know. Sorry if I'm off. I'm medicated. I can't really move my mouth. What was some of the best and worst experiences that you had with fitness brands? Best is AG1, hands down. They're just such a fun team to work with. I love the product. I love promoting it. They kind of give me freedom. They let me talk to my audience how I want to. Other brands, like you have to say this and do that. I'm like, I would never talk to you guys like that. Tie for two worst. One is Lumen. I'm going to talk about that in a whole other one. You'll notice I didn't actually post anything. That's juicy. If you guys want a whole video, is that metabolism tracking thing, I will talk about that. Also, HelloFresh. I really like the product. It's awesome. They're fun to work with. I put a lot of work into the ads. I like to make them like mini commercials, like the Super Bowl, entertaining to watch. And I put so much effort into them, and I had a year contract and they just dipped. I created a whole family, gymshark, and they just abandoned me one day. That hurt. Are you and your boyfriend planning on living together? And if so, where? It's the most asked question by far. We do live together, kinda. His home in Sweden is my home. My apartment in Vancouver is his apartment. We're just not always together, but it's like both of our places. And I think it's gonna be like that for a couple of years. Both of our careers are we don't know where we're gonna live next year. So eventually we would love it to be like we're always together at least 10 months of the year in one spot. But right now we're international, but it's both our homes and we try to be together as much as possible. Eventually, I would like to be like set up in one specific spot. How did you handle the situation with your life after sport career ended? I'm gonna post here the podcast. Everyone asks us so often about post-career. It's like one of my other most common questions. We did a whole podcast on it. My biggest tip is to stay curious. How did I handle it? Not well. I went through identity crisis for like 5 years and then eventually had a couple life situations that really made me reflect and realize I was going in the wrong direction and pivot. And then I just got really curious and tried everything and just no longer had these like boundaries on myself. And as soon as I started trying everything, I found YouTube, I found music, and like I feel so fulfilled. You can juice carrots, you can juice apples, but can you juice a raspberry filled donut? I need to know. Define juicing. Can you just squeeze out the filling and drink that? So yeah, yes you can. I think we're about the same age. I'm also extremely driven by creativity and work, but I want kids. I'm curious to know, do you want children? I do. I don't want them now, but also I'm not like I have to have kids. I definitely would like them. I don't feel any desire to have kids right now, but I know it's like something everyone says you don't know you want it till you want it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Everyone loves their kid once they have it. So I think I do want to experience it. I definitely do, but in no time. So I'm thinking of freezing my eggs in a year or so, just because it kind of sucks. As women, we only have so many years, but we live in a time where we have more resources, so I can focus on my career for a lot longer, because I don't want to have kids and resent them because I didn't get to fully go after my career. And a lot of women do it and balance them both, and that's so respectable. For me, I'm gonna save up and yeah, freeze them. Wow, there's a lot of questions about women's health and stuff, but your preference, experience with birth control. I was on the pill when I started on 16 because I didn't have regular periods. Oh, I regret this. It's just like how I've always been. Like I would have 2 periods in a month and then I wouldn't have a period for like 5 months. I've just always had a really inconsistent period. It kind of runs in my family. It's just reality of my genetics. I'm not gonna give any medical advice. None of this is medical advice. If you're watching me, I'm an idiot on the internet. But then I did it for several years before I was even sexually active. Then obviously when I became sexually active, very important. I was on birth control until I had a friend actually get a blood clot from birth control. And that was eye-opening. She had pulmonary embolism. I saw her in the hospital for like 2 months when she was 18, and I was like, whoa. Then I was dumb and 18 and too lazy to change birth controls. I just started feeling really off, I remember, and I hated that. I just was really emotional. And then I think 7 years ago, I went to copper IUD. I just got it replaced a year ago. You got it replaced every 5 years. Some people have bad incidents. I like that I'm not on hormones, and I love it. It works for me. How good / bad is YouTube and their algorithm sometimes regarding struggles and stuff we as a viewer wouldn't know? It is a religion. I pray to Google YouTube algorithm every night, and someone I saw this on a podcast once and I realized, I was like, oh my God, I literally treat it like some like spooky cult religion. Like I treat it like this thing that I'm like, if I wear red, it's gonna stand out more and I have to upload at this time and this thumbnail. And like my mind is completely OCD, literally, because I do have OCD in my family and I used to have it really bad. Like it feeds into that, doesn't help, but it's really hard. Like I took those 2 weeks off, as you guys know, and then I uploaded it. It was the worst video. The troubling is it's not so much like oh, it was one bad video, get over it. The algorithm remembers. How algorithms typically work is it feeds your video to a set amount of people. If a low percent click it, it's gonna stop recommending it. If a high percent click it, it's gonna recommend it a ton, and it's kind of like on a scale. Last week, they recommended it and all the people clicked because for whatever reason. Honestly, it's July. Videos always take July because you're out living your life as you should be, so I'm not offended. But then back in my mind, I'm like, next time I upload, example today, is YouTube gonna be like, you know what? People didn't really like it last time, don't give it out as much. Versus had it been a really good video, it'd be like, people love our content, send it to everyone. Every week, you're just like praying. It's tough because a lot of it is out of your control and you can do a lot and you can be analytical, but then people have started making YouTube so analytical. Mr. Beast is a great example of it, and he is, I'm not gonna hate on Mr. Beast, like he is the #1 YouTube. But he has it down to such a science, and you can manipulate. It's not I don't use the word manipulative, but you can figure it out so analytical and like change scene, grab this thumbnail. Like there's just so many ways to just make sure someone never clicks out of a video, are stuck watching. You're not enjoying it. You're just like, okay, what's the next thing? And YouTube can be like that. And I don't enjoy that because I think of YouTube as art and videos as art, and I want entertainment, and like entertaining things aren't always like overly consumable. And that's what I hate about the algorithm. It really feeds into just making sure people watch the whole thing, because the longer they watch, the more they're gonna recommend it. So I'm just like, I'd rather whoever watches it enjoys it. How did you feel when Coach Greg featured you in a video? I thought it was amazing. I had a panic attack, Kate. I'm gonna respond to this next week. I'll hit next week's video has something to do with this. But when I first got this, I was like, oh my God, I hate when people make videos about me, because I'm like, oh, I just want everyone happy. I just want everyone to enjoy it. I hope I'm not toxic. I'm not perfect. I showed me binge drinking occasionally. I don't binge drink often, but you know, I went to Ibiza. I drank more than a healthy amount. And then I'm like, oh my God, did I say something wrong? Because I don't ever do something harmful. Hence, I don't dip into drama. But I was scared. I was just like, oh my God. And well, I'll let you know, because I didn't know it was about me, because I'm not in the thumbnail or the title, and it was talking about bodybuilding. So I was like, oh, it's not my content. I do watch great content because Canadian. Yeah, but I had a panic attack when I saw it. I was like, oh no, oh no. How long did you play volleyball? I started in grade 6 and played till grade 12, so 6 years. And I only stopped because I had to choose between volleyball and basketball in college, and I picked basketball, which honestly, low-key, sometimes really regret. How much water / sodium do you have each day? I struggle with bloat, LOL, IBS props. This is something I'm so passionate about. First, Nikita, go drink some water. For me, I actually did a challenge once where it was like drink a gallon a day, the 4 liters. And it was awful because it wasn't enough for me, and that's how subjective water is. Like some people only need 2 to 3 liters. Some people 4 is a lot. I learned I actually need like minimum 5 liters of water, upwards of 6, and I am very active. My digestion's off, my skin goes off. I get this lack of energy if I don't have that much water. But also, it's not just water, it's electrolytes, and that's something I'm so passionate about, because when I was 21, I didn't drink enough electrolytes. And electrolytes, oh my God, salt, it's so important. Now, if you have a health condition and you're not very active, you only need a certain amount of sodium, and so many packaged foods come with sodium. So for an average person like that, it's not as important. But the problem with that message is it's getting to athletes, and athletes need sodium and potassium electrolytes. It is so important. So how much do I have? I salt all my food. And if I don't, I feel like crap. And it's what works really well for me. So I salt all my food, and I have electrolytes once or twice a day. I remember when I was 21, 22, and it was like the anti-salt movement, because it was like, oh, you're gonna bloat and you're gonna retain water. And like kind of that's like the point, but once you salt enough, like I don't retain water. I don't go have a salty meal and I don't blow up. I have sushi, a bunch of soy sauce. I don't, because my body's gotten used to it and I'm giving it. It's more like the change is when I was 21, 22, cut out salt. I would wake up with these calf cramps. I'd wake up in tears, and I'd wake up the next morning and felt like I did 3,000 calf raises. The reason I wasn't using electrolyte. So that's why, sorry for getting aggressive. I'm just like the anti-salt thing. Like it's an essential nutrient, salt. You need it to survive. Yes, a lot of people overdo it. My athletes, my runners, you need sodium and don't be scared of it because there might be a little bit of an uncomfy period when you first do it, but trust me, when you have enough sodium, your energy levels, it's gonna be mind-blowing. And that is why I am so excited for today's sponsor. How excited? Here was my response when my managers was like, Element has reached out to sponsor a YouTube video. I said, holy F yes, I've wanted this product for so long, I could geek out about electrolytes for days. I am so excited. Okay, the podcast island, Tim Ferriss, Andrew Huberman, they've been preaching about this electrolyte Element because it's so high quality. So yeah, I could just tell you take electrolytes. What I love about this is how simple it is. First of all, the packaging, oh my God, it is beautiful. Comes in these little packets. It has your 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, sweetened with stevia, and that's pretty much it. It's just pure, there's no additives, it's simple, you can pack these. Take these to the bar. Pop them in your purse as you're leaving the bar, put them in some water, drink it, no hangover. I was a little worried because you're probably asking yourself, Keltie, you're drinking salt. Let me fill this water. It still tastes delicious. Oh, dust up the nose. Like how I describe this taste. Oh, it's like lemony, limey, and yeah, it is salty, a little salty, but it's so refreshing. It's sweet. Especially like this is mixed in liter water and it's still sweet. And I love brands that do stuff like this. Pretty much anyone can have this, paleo, keto. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packages free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Keltie. This deal is only available through my link. That is drinklmnt.com/Keltie. And thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video. We need your favorite outfit deets. Fave places to shop right now. I'll bring you to it. This is my clothing rack, and this is like my current seasonal or currently just purchased items. Like my winter stuff or dressier stuff is in here. But so I'm gonna show you what I got. Aritzia, A Goldie is my favorite jeans. These are all Aritzia tops that were on sale. Skims bras. Kit and Ace is a big favorite of mine. So I got this like black tracksuit. I've been on a graphic tee fix. So I got this nude project. Sporty and Rich is one of my favorite for just casual. More Aritzia, I'm Canadian. Hollister has made a comeback. Rocco Rain for just fun mesh shorts. My favorite like brand to get like real investment pieces is Acne. And then for athletic wear, it's a Gymshark. And then for the pieces that I can get from Gymshark, like tennis skirts and stuff like that, I do a Lululemon and Aloe Yoga. How do you make friends that don't feel like you are constantly annoying to? I'm working on this because it's something, it's a me problem. I've learned over the last few years, I'm really bad at not always texting my friends or telling them I'm having problems. I don't know what it is and I have this own issue. I just think I annoy everyone. I'm always scared to just say anything. So I'm like, I don't want to annoy anyone. So I just say nothing. And then my friends think I'm not thinking of them. I'm like, I'm thinking about you all day and I love you, but I just don't want to annoy you. And I learned that even with my boyfriend, he's like, no, update me, text me. And I don't text people. I realized that was annoying. They never text people. So I was like, you know what? It's probably in your own head. So don't worry about it. You're not annoying. You're great. People want to hear from you. Do you take creatine or any other supplements? Only supplements I take, so athletic greens, electrolytes, which have been Element. I take vitamin D drops in the wintertime, omega-3s, and sometimes vitamin C. So it's really more like vitamins and minerals than I don't really take supplements. I have nothing against creatine. One of the top 2 most studied supplements on earth next to caffeine. Honestly, I just don't care to spend the money. Are you still loving the Lululemon sneakers? Yes, I've been wearing them to all my cross-training classes. So things like berries where I have to do a bit of weights and running, they've been great for that. Are you missing Ibiza? Yes. Ibiza was literally like the most inspiring thing. Which like only I would go to Ibiza and come back like inspired. You guys know like it's one of the birthplaces of like electronic music and house and DJing. That's what I want to get into. So like the whole time I'm sitting there and like watching Armin van Buuren and David Guetta perform at some of the biggest clubs in the world. I'm like, I would kill. Even just like the 1 p.m. spot with like 30 people there. I would just, oh my God, to perform there. Did you ever give us a follow-up on your naturopath visit? No, because they ghosted me. I went and got a bunch of things. My blood work was nothing like really to write home about. It was mostly good. There's a few little areas to work on, which I was gonna go work on. And then the place I went to closed. So yeah, I gotta find a new naturopath. So if anyone's recommendation in Vancouver, please let me know. Are you ever planning on coming to Paris doing a cheerleader training? Eventually come to Paris. I've always wanted to be able to do like some cheerleading moves, so I think I should make that video. Thank you for reminding me. Have you ever had any sport injuries? If so, do they still affect your performance in some way? So I blew out my knee playing basketball, and that's what ended my career. But luckily, I had the intention of going back for another year. So I rehabbed it like crazy. And because of that, I have no repercussions from that, especially with my implants, which we'll talk more about like health and stuff in a second. I haven't noticed anything because I wasn't aggressive. I think sometimes you can rest too much, and that's a big problem. You have to rest after surgery, but also if you rest too much, scar tissue can form and like those nerves are reforming. So like my mobility is completely back, and I can do push-ups, full range of motion, because after like the 6 weeks mark, I pushed it and it wasn't really comfy. You kind of have to do that. And I think one of the biggest mistakes you can have after injury is resting too much. There's a fine line. It has to be doctor supervised, but there is a thing, it's resting too much, and like I'm scared to even say it on the internet. Just realize harm can happen from being too sedentary. After having your implants, did you notice loose skin on your breasts? Right when I first got them, they were saggy. I was like, oh my God. I knew that was gonna happen, and now they have bounced back. And yeah, they're like a little bit droopier, but the fact it's only been 3 months and they're already like pretty normal. Like no one, I think, would look at them and be like, saggy boobs. They just wanna be like, wow, her boobs are super perky. They're just really, they're so tiny, so it's really hard to say if there is. How do you deal with society's pressure conserving body types trends? For me, it's less of like trends, like when Kardashians got their butts bigger. Yeah, I did focus a lot more on growing my glutes for those years. And you know, when Victoria's Secret models were in, yeah, big boobs and being really skinny was in. So I definitely felt that need, and hey, I got boobs. But more so for fitness world. For me, most of my problems with my body is like the internet. Because my body naturally fluctuates like everyone, for sure within 5 pounds, but like lately, you know, even a bit more because of like all the surgeries and procedures I've had to done. And just like right now, like if you probably even see in my face, I'm really swollen because I just got like cut open yesterday. It's the comments. And like in my mind, I was like, oh, I know. And then I'll return back to normal. And like, this is fine. This is what your body's supposed to do. It's just knowing those comments are going to be there and be like, did you gain weight? Wow, she's looking puffy. She let herself go. She's looking too skinny. It's just so hard that like my body naturally fluctuates, and I'm fine with that. But knowing people are going to comment on it, and it's really emotionally exhausting. Like it makes me a lot of times like not want to film. Because I'm like, oh, do I look really skinny today? Are people gonna like suddenly make a Reddit thread being like, she's not eating? Or do I look puffy? And people are gonna be like, are you pregnant? Did she let herself go? So people say stuff like that, and it's toxic either way. Because if someone's going through something, like don't bring it up to the public. But sometimes someone's not going through something, you're painting these narratives, and so it's just like having to be so hyper aware of like how you appear to the world. And I've kind of gotten the last few years of just been like, I don't give a fuck. Like write the Reddit, say whatever. Like it's part of it. I feel so blessed because the people I talk to, you listening, are who really matters, and that's who I care about. And I'd rather just focus on the creative side than my body and my performance. But to say it never gets to me is a lie. I'm just trying to do what's best for my body and feel best. Favorite places to eat in Vancouver. We're just quick switch because I'm sick of that. I'm sick of constantly talking about women's bodies. It is way too much of a topic. And you asking this, nothing on you. I just asked you, who was it? Reagan. Love you, Reagan. Go drink a coffee or water or whatever it is. I love you. It's not you, but I just mean like we always have to have this conversation because the media always paints it. And I'm just like, can we talk about other things? But if you don't talk, yeah, it's... Okay, anyways, favorite place to eat in Vancouver. There's an app, it's called OOO, stand for out of office. I joined that because I travel a lot and people are always like, what's your favorite place to eat in Barcelona or Sweden or Vancouver, Toronto, Edmonton? So I put my favorite place to eat and work out all those cities I go to. So I've been doing that. So if you want, check out that app, search for me. Favorite workout at the moment and favorite food at the moment. Ooh, favorite food was the rigatoni 3 cheese pasta I had in Italy. Oh my God, it was the best buy food I've ever had. And favorite workout? I just want to be able to work out. So I guess, just want to be able to work out. Yeah, so I'll just talk about that, the health things. It's gonna be really weird, and I don't even know, I've never addressed it because it doesn't really seem like health or wellnessy. Been a big health issue I've dealt with the last year. I moved out when I was 18, for it was like 10 years. I didn't go to the dentist once. Why? I didn't have the money. I didn't have health insurance. I moved out 18. I love my mom, but like she had to worry about my little brother, and I paid for everything myself. Moved out with it now sent to my name, and was like, hey, Keltie, you gotta figure this out. And one of those costs was a dentist. I started having debilitating tooth pain about 2 years ago, avoided it and had some emergency procedures. And then August last year, I was like, you have to deal with this. So it started with a pulled tooth, this back tooth, a year ago. So did that, those ran into antibiotics. A month later, I got this tooth pulled out. These two drilled down. This is actually a temporary bridge. It was supposed to be in there 6 weeks, but as my travel schedule has been in there 10 months, so I'm actually gonna fix next week. Then I had all 4 wisdom teeth pulled out. Then got the bridge built. And then Tuesday I went and had to get the bridge fixed in. And then I also had 4 massive cavities, like my teeth were pretty much hollow, got those filled. That was brutal. And then I had 1 tooth back here that my wisdom teeth was blocking, and it was pretty much gone. And so they drilled into it to try and make a filling, but they couldn't, and so I just had an exposed nerve for like a week. And when I was in Edmonton this weekend, I didn't sleep for 3 days because I am in so much pain. This is the worst pain. All the pain meds I didn't take after my breast implant, I had to take this weekend. I'll go in more details after, but I've got to go get this dealt with. I just flew home from Edmonton, just came straight to the emergency dentist to get this dealt with. Sick of being in pain. I've been in like pain for like, I haven't talked about this, but like 16 months. I just want to stop dealing with this. Wait, freezing. I've had so much freezing before, but this was the worst. I had a really aesthetic thing. And the pain was so bad. It's just to put in context how bad the pain was. When I had my breast implants taken out and my wisdom teeth, I didn't take any meds. I was just like, yeah, no, it's fine. It was so bad, I started crying, and I took the pain meds I didn't take for my breast implants. I don't know. Not saying do, but I did. And I have to go in for another procedure in a week and another. Plus getting my implants removed. So it's been tough this year in the sense the world's opening and I'm really training towards performance and I'm really liking it. But it's been like, when you're an athlete, you're so focused on like optimization. So being the healthiest person and then like optimizing it. That's kind of how my mind's been. But I haven't been able to optimize it. I've just have to been like appreciate my health, which I'm really thankful for. And so it's been a unique journey, whether it be my breast implants, my hair, digestion, like everything you guys have seen on this channel if you've been for a while. But like, I was pretty mentally fatigued. Like you're like Keltie with some fillings, but it's like every month to 2 months I've been on like a round of antibiotics, which is blessing. Thank God we have them. That's why our life expectancy is so long. Like, but they do kill your gut microbiome. I hate how I feel on them. I hate medication. I had this whole plan to do this triathlon video and I had to get this pulled out, so now I got this big gaping chunk of this. So yeah, the tooth got pulled yesterday, so I got stitches and all that in there. It's just like Tuesday I had to get all the freezing and the poking, and then yesterday I had to get all the poking, like, and it was the worst one. Like I'm just kind of sick of being cut and poked and frozen and put to sleep. Like, I'm just like, so people who have like really like, I'm really blessed. It's like mouth and it was plastic surgery. So people who are going through like diabetic and cancer, oh my God, you're a hero. Whew. Like I'm just like, I think I've got 1.5 more procedures and I think I'm finally will just like have a healthy mouth. And I can just worry about brushing and doing my cleaning and keeping up on it because I'm just exhausted. But it's really made me like, especially, you know, getting a bit older, I'm like, I'm just so thankful to be healthy. As much as it's nice to have a 6-pack and feel really good in a photo, you know, I was complaining about that before. It's so nice to be healthy and you take that for granted. And I am very healthy, but just even like something as simple as like my mouth. For like 2 days, all I could think about was like how much pain I was in. Brush your teeth. Pay the money to get a nice electric toothbrush. Floss. Use your mouthwash. Go to the dentist. It is worth it because I paid so much money this year. Had young, dumb Keltie just paid 75 bucks or whatever it is every few months. How did your BF feel or adjust to your breast implant removal? Did you care what he thought? Same with like getting my hair extensions out and my boobs out. I won't lie, I was like so nervous to tell my boyfriend because when we started dating, I was fake boobs, big hair extension gal. And I was like, maybe that's his thing. Maybe that's when he feels I'm the most attractive. So I was like, but then like I also felt like an idiot being like my boyfriend is more than that. I shouldn't be like think he's this dumb idiot who's like fake hair, big boobs, wow. It's got a bit more substance than that. But yeah, I was a little nervous to see what he thinks. But he's been amazing during the procedure and he's just as happy as I am with them gone. What you do as a Gymshark athlete? Well, I wear Gymshark clothes like this. Actually, I'll just show you. This is literally what I do. First of all, whenever I work out, I wear my favorite Gymshark pieces. And then once I knew, like the studio collection, this is for like yoga, comes out, I'll be like, hey, I got a link. It's down in the description, which I do. Look at this color. Beautiful. I love it. This is like for like their yoga line, Pilates, a bit more. Just think what you do in a studio. Yeah, and then use my link. And that's what I do. And then I post it. And then that's on YouTube. And then on Instagram, and post a couple like photos and that, and just show me wearing the brand and my favorite pieces. So that's kind of the gist of it. It's a bit more deep than that. That may seem pretty simple. Long-term goals regarding work is I would love to start doing in-person events with like the podcast and you guys, and just whether it be we do like a live podcast or YouTube recording, and then all go for a run, like big run or workout together, and then music and shots. I think that would be a big one. Another big work one would be to perform DJ at a festival and release my first few songs, and then an album producing music. Those would definitely be some big milestone goals. Obviously, I've always wanted the 1 million subscriber YouTube plaque. That would be really cool. And just travel the world seeing you guys perform music. I would love just to perform more music and have a moment with you guys. I think that's my favorite thing, is creating something that allows other people to have the best night of their life. And I just want to do more of that, or the best workout, whatever it is. I love both those. And that is this week's video. So yes, I am excited. I am sick of being not my best self and being poked and frozen. I want to find a goal to work towards. Like, I don't really want to do a marathon. I'm doing the run streak, but something else. My boyfriend brought up like doing Ninja Warrior test. I said, like, I don't know what it is, looks like, but something like that. Have something to work toward. Focus on it. Thank you for tuning in, listening. Hopefully you guys have a great day. And most importantly, go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.